Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Ma'am Istiada of the lecturer of AS class Sociology of Literature, and the Honorable our lovely friends in AS class Sociology of Literature course. In this occasion, we would like to present our previous presentations and our today's presentation. First of all, let us introduce ourselves. My name is Muhammad Afif Badjeber, student ID number 19320032, and my partner Adiftia Syabianto, student ID number 19320197. For the previous meeting, we have journal article entitled Representation of Domestic Violence, KDRT in La Barca, a Sociology of Literature. This journal was published in 2020. The authors are Cynthia Apriani and Yeni Hayat. The theory, this journal used the theory sociology of literature and analyze the content analysis method. Sociology theory focuses on understanding the relationship between people and the process that arises from relations in society. Findings, Rodney explains that the content analysis relates to the content of communication, both verbally and non-verbal. This paper tries to explain and analyze how the domestic violence of women in the La Barca's novel by N.H. Dini. In La Barca novel, found the forms of domestic violence against women, namely physical violence, and sexual violence. Physical violence is usually spoken verbally or in a body language indicated by the perpetrator of the victim. Forms of verbal violence such as from the likes of screaming against victims, swearing, threatening, demeaning, regulating, harassing, stalking, and spying. It can be seen in the following quotation. Kepalaku mulai berpikir keras setiap malam mengingat kembali kata-kata tak seonoh. My heart began to think loudly every night remembering the unindecent words. Based on the finding above, the form of domestic violence experienced by female figures in the La Barca's novel by N. Hadini is physical violence. And the second, physical violence committed by perpetrators against the victims can be actions that can injure a person, such as beating, slap, strip, kicking, throwing goods into the victim's body, stepping on, injuring empty-handed or tools or weapons, killing violent with sharp objects, flows of chemicals, or hot waters. It can be seen from the following quotation. And the treatment of the shape of the great clay, serta perlakuan semaunya yang semula kuterima dengan kelapangan dada. Based on the findings above, the form of domestic violence experienced by female figures in La Barca's novel is physical violence. And the other violence is sexual violence. Sexual violence is an act of perpetrators lead to the use of sexual activities against victims, such as touching, rope, kissing, or committing other acts that no victim would want. It can be seen in the following quotation. When his hands were descending from the neck, touching my chest with tremendous power, managed to crack his and eyelids of harm. Ketika tangannya menurun dari leher menyentuh dadaku, dengan daya luar biasa aku berhasil meretakkan pengaruhnya yang kusadari amat membahayakan. Based on the findings above, the form of domestic violence experienced by female figures in La Barca's novel by N. Hadini is a sexual assault. And then the findings also discuss about the cause of violence against women in the novel La Barca. The first is community cultural factors. In the cultural society, men gain a position as superior beings and women as inferior beings or weak. Some erroneous religious understanding also appears in people who think men can master women, so that women do not get their good justice. This is evident from the following quotation. Masyarakat telah memastikan bahwa dunia ini untuk pihak laki-laki. The community has ensured that this world is for the male party. And then the other factor is non-compliance factors. In fact, women who do not follow the will of her husband are precisely vulnerable to violent objects. It can be seen from the following excerpt. Kawanku menceritakan pertengkaran suami istri itu seringkali disebabkan oleh penolakan si suami terhadap kedatangan atau kunjungan beberapa kawan Kristen yang tertentu. Tetapi Kristen mempunyai kekuatan, kemauan, dan sanggup bergigih. Based on the finding above, it can be explained that the factors that cause domestic violence to women often occur, namely because of the non-compliance of women. In the excerpt above, it appears that one triggers a quarrel in the household because both figures are equally unable to respect each other's will. The husband refuses when a female character named Christine is too open to her friends. Then female figure insists on rejecting requests from husband. And then the impact of domestic violence against women in La Barca's novel. One of the impact is physical and sexual impacts. The impacts of domestic violence can usually be from the victim's physical changes, such as bruising, ringer wounds to severe wounds, and dysfunction of the victim's body, mild to permanent physical defects, and may even cause death to victims of violent acts. This is visible from the following quotation. Karena kulihat kau sering tampak suram walaupun bergaul atau tertawa bersama kawan-kawan kita. Based on the findings about the impact of domestic violence on women in the El Abarkat novel by N. Hadini is the physical change suffered by victims. That's all for the first article journal in the previous meeting, and the next journal in the previous meeting will be continued by my partner Adiftia. Adiftia, time is yours.
Okay, I will continue for my own journal that I found in the internet under the title The Study of Sociology of Literature in Sofia Mafaza under the title for her novel Back. This journal was published at 2019. The author in this journal is Anissa Amelia Nurhapida. For the research question that I found in this journal is, how is the relationship between the novel Back with a sociological approach? The theory, this journal using sociology of the author theory from Professor Dr. Nyoman Kutaratna or in the citation Ratna. The result for the sociological approach, the relationship between the novel and the author. The author is an educational person. She has she is a teacher as her main job, and writing a novel is just her minor job. When she was a student in the university, she uh, looked around her about her experience, about her friend and the other, and that inspired her to make the novel. She can divide the experience by two kinds. Yeah, this is the reason for my journal.
Okay, next to the today's article journal, we have article journal entitled The Petri Anthology Arabi fi Qalbi by Sophie Gonier, a sociology of author perspective. This journal was published in 2022 this year, and the authors are Amani Nurul Azizah and Abdul Basit. The study aims to determine the sociology of the author in the Petri Anthology Arabi fi Qalbi by Sophie Gonia based on the perspective of Ren Welleck and Austin Warren. And in the study of the author's sociology, the author is positioned as the creator of literary works and is also considered a social being whose existence cannot be separated from his social status in society. The sociology of the author is classified by Renwellick and Austin Warren in 7 areas of study, namely the author's social background, the author's social ideology, the author's social position, the intended readership's community, the author's social status, the source author's economy, and professionalism in authorship. And the result and discussion, the author's social background. Welleck and Warren emphasizes that in sociology of authors, educational background is the main source. Based on the data, it can be seen that the social background of the author in the anthology Arabi fi Qalbi is an educated person. Sonny Gonia is a poet from Malang who was born on May 30, 1919. She was educated at SD Kebonsari as a child. Since elementary school, she has been passionate about writing poetry. Then he continued her education at MTS Nur Bululawang and resided in Pondok Pesantren An Nur Bululawang, Malang. As we know, the pesantren culture, which is thick with a lot of literary work, is one of the studies that Konya is engaged in. Until now, the students of An-Nur Bulawang actively decorate the mass media with their works. In historical reports, literary work in the An-Nur Islamic Boarding School was formed by the founding generation, namely Anwar Nur, and continued to the next generation. And next, social interaction with author's environment. Based on the data, the result of the interview explained that Sophie Gonier had close social interaction with her environment. She lives in Malang City to support a mission of the city of Malang as an educational city in East Java. Education is an important aspect of Malang. Sophie Gonier is an educator at Madrasah Diniyah in An-Nur Bulawang. Because of her closeness to the social community, she writes poems that contain advice. One of her poems explains that a patient can bring happiness from someone who is always patient with something that happens to him. Allah will give the best result for him. Thus, the poem contains a message to always be patient. The findings of the study state that the author's social position is the author's involvement in his social life and the extent to which the author is involved in the surrounding community. The authors in Fitri Anthology Arabic Qalbi have a high level of social position. The research findings can be compared with previous research. State is true that the author's social position is very influential on the literary work created. The next is the process of writing literary works. Based on the data shows that Sophie Gonia started writing her work in 2019 and 17. In the process of writing, she honored her skills in various writing competitions. She really loves the world of Arabic literature. Therefore, the poems she wrote are in Arabic. Authors create literary works based on the reality that occurs around them. Therefore, the author position literary works as a picture of everyday life in society. The portrait quoted above is a picture that often occurs in society. As the sociology of literature theory says that literary works are a reflection of society. The concept of the mirror of society here means that there is news that occurs in a society that is actually not the same as the society described in the literature because of the intervention of the author's worldview. Based on the explanation of the author's social background, it is concluded that the author of the poetry anthology Arabi fi Qalbi, Sophie Gonia, has an educated background. She studied literature since elementary school and then developed it while studying at Islamic boarding school, actively actively participating in educational programs, and also joining the literary community. And the next part is the author's social position. Based on the result of the interview, explained that Sophie Gonia has a high level of integrity and her position in society is an active community because she does a lot of activities and mingles with the community. She not only mingles with the public from academia, but also to the general public. Based on this information, it can be concluded that in a social position, an author will be directly involved with her social environment in different ways. She gets along with her fellow educators and other people in the community. The poems that reflect that the author has a fairly high social positions are the following poems. The poem explained that in life we must help each other and work together. By helping each other, people can come back to realize that humans are social creatures. Helping someone is a form of active participation of each individual to be involved in giving positive value to the surrounding environment. Based on this, it can be concluded that Sophie Gonia, as the author of poetry anthology, Arabi fi Qalbi, has a high level of integrity. And the next part is author's economic source. The author's economic source cannot be ascertained that his economic source is from the result of writing activities because authors generally have other income that is more important than the result of writing activities. Based on the data, it was explained that her current occupation is teaching. The main economic source of the author is not through the result of her work, but through her educational activities. As a teacher, her work is often used as learning material for students. Therefore, she wants to present a work that contains many moral messages for readers. So that's all from the journal article The Patriantology Arabi fi Qalbi by Sophie Gonia, a sociology of author perspective. and the other journal article will be explained by my partner, Adiftia. Times and place are yours.
Okay, for the second journal that I found, this is for the continue for the next week, the social of the reader. The journal that I found on the internet is under the title Social Criticism in the novel Waiting for the Sun of the Melbourne works of Remy Skylado, Literature Sociology Overview. And this journal was uh, posted at 2011. And the author for this journal is Muhammad Ardi Kurniawan. The research question is, how is the novel affect the sociology on the reader? This journal also using a sociology of the reader by Welleck and Warren. The result, the result for the journal is made how the reader look at the religion and the conflict, so and any problem inside the novel. Yeah, this is what I got in what I know for the journal that I found. Maybe just this from me. Yeah, from me. The last we say you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.